People, I want to touch on a very interesting topic today. I call it the nature of a psychic. You often say that this thing is impossible, like you still believe that human blood and bones cannot be made from scratch. You believe a thing is impossible when you lack knowledge of the scientific realities in it. You are on a wrong mindset and you will not see this from outside of the box. You should seek for all truth relentlessly. Never say that it is impossible simply because it is abnormal. Your cell phone is abnormal. In fact, it is supernatural. The mirror in your room is magic. It allows you to see yourself outside of you. The mirror is not the only form of magic, and this is exactly proven by the very fact that you are here. The entire universe is magic, and we all have access to all the universe and all magic that really does not exist. Do not turn these paradoxes into contradictions. Because you keep seeing paradoxes as contradictions, you tend to think the thing is impossible. Listen, the closer you go to the highest sciences, which will naturally be defined as the highest magic, the more paradoxes you will see. Paradoxes are not contradictions. When you see that smallest particle, you see something that is and is not. For if you can locate and touch what you see, your very existence will not be. How will it be easy to wrap your heads around this? Science is trying, but they are way behind. Still, if you tried to keep up with even your conventional sciences, you would grasp more of what I am saying. Although I might at times confuse the scientist by merely saying what I see. Why? Because I rely only on me as a receiver. They rely on all sorts of gadgets and painstaking work. The good part is that we can both come to the same conclusions, me defining them in layman terms and they doing the fancy footworks as usual, forming words we cannot pronounce. Now, to go to observing if this psychic thing is real, I start by saying that everything is energy, and once the scientists can find ways to tune in as a receiver to intercourse or commune with the energy, as do the radio, he will verify all things to the degree that it is attainable to him. There is nothing supernatural about being psychic. Not being psychic is abnormal. This is the disease. This is not an insult to anyone. It is a sad truth for mankind on this present day, at this time in perpetual motion. Not being psychic is the anomaly, is the fault. How many times I say there was an earthquake and the people around me never agrees until they see the news. The last earthquake in Jamaica, I think it was a few days ago, was not supposed to be felt as far as my location. It was in the east. Yet I knew at the instant, but no one else around me did. We were all supposed to know. Why was I the only one? People were just at peace, working, and everything. It made me wonder if I was the one who was sick at the time. So I listened the news to make sure, as usual, and it was a fiver or a little higher. My friend, you are supposed to be psychic because there is no way you can exist if you are not that one energy in perpetual motion, which connects you to all these forces. So, what does the psychic see that you do not? Well, the woke member that you categorize as psychic sees the energy patterns. Listen, vision and sight are not the same. Vision and sight are not the same. Seeing is the same as touching or hearing. It is mere perception. That is all. It is how you define the energy. How does the blind person correctly define? You see him do it all the time and he never strays out in the street. That's scratch one for the psychic. He sees energy like the blind man. He sees energy like the blind man sees his way home. How does a deaf man hear you when he can only see your lips move or by him watching the signals you make? How does the deaf man do that? Well, this is how the psychic sees the energy. Scratch 2 for the psychic. All I am saying is that he is merely more sensitive, more grounded, and more rounded. His ability to conceive goes to higher or lower degrees in different psychic individuals. I want to give you a demonstration today explaining the degrees of psychic awareness. A blind woman touches a man in the face and says that he is handsome. A blind child walks into a room and is claustrophobic because of how close are the four walls. It is actually seeing them, isn't it? For by the fact of awareness, to the degree that it really matters, what is the difference? The difference is mere semantics. It is all about perception. We categorize them by different names: hearing, tasting, feeling, smelling, but it's just perception. No, a shallow mind sees the smoke raised from the fire and how it whirls around, scatters, funnel, and head for a window. He sees the smoke fly. A less shallow mind, a less shallow mind sees the same smoke and has pure vision of wind patterns that drive it. Do you know how the sea is warmer where the storm is made? The human body is tuned into all these patterns. If the sun hits the end of the wire outside, the end that is inside, out of the sun, gets hot. Although you were not outside, although you do not see that the sun is hot out, you touch the wire inside and you say, the sun is very hot today. Right away, you are a psychic. However, there are extremely high degrees to this form of sensitivity. Your body has chakras, and when it receives as the antenna, the energies sometimes display for your foremind right near the center at your third eye level, or it affects your mind in some form of a visionary dream. In my understanding of reality, there is an electric field above your crown, and it is actually reflecting from a nuclei base. There is an electric field above your crown, and it is actually reflecting from a nuclei base, which is the one thing. That one thing, it's almost like a dot. It reflects also from your heart center. it reflects from your crown, and from that base in at your rib cage at the center where your heart is supposed to be. There is a dot. It's you don't see a dot, but you see an energy field right at your heart and at the top of your crown. You will always see that energy field, all those light. It's coming from a dot at the nuclei, and that is one thing. This is the only way we can define it. Just one thing. That one thing is a dot that can never be located. It is there, but it can never be located. If you stand beside 1,000 people, all have that same dot hovering as the nuclei of that energy field around the crown, calling all scientists on board. All have that same dot hovering as the nuclei of that energy field around the crown. However, there is not 1,000 of that one dot. It is only that one thing. The person in Africa and the one in Jamaica shares the same one thing. It's personal to each person, but it's the same one thing. And I alone have my one dot, but it's the same one dot that you have. You don't have a different one dot. It has no location. And pardon me for using an orthodox sounding word like one dot. I don't have another name to use to describe it. It is only that one thing. The person in Africa and the person in Jamaica shares that one thing. It has no location. Even if you see it when you put your hand to touch it, you realize it is not there. It is generic consciousness. And this is what I used to speak about when I was in high school. It is generic consciousness. There will be ways to see it, maybe in the future for science. But there will never be a way to locate or commune with it outside of the order of perpetual motion. For that is the breach that cannot be made. From that nuclei base, all the universe is compacted, and the energy patterns are available to you. You can see them at the level of your third eye. You can feel them as your emotions. You can see them like you see the wind behind the smoke. You can figure on their shapes, the characters, and what will they do. The time that the smoke will tend to hit, the time the smoke will tend to take to hit the wall is a season. The time the smoke will take to hit the wall is a season. I'm just putting a thought in your head to describe it. You can tell that it will hit the wall in 3 seconds. And from that time, the area will be covered in smoke. Be careful if you are asthmatic. At that time, the smell of garlic will be strong, for garlic was in the fire, and the smell is in the smoke. And the smoke will hit the wall, and you know it will take 4 minutes to dissipate. So there is a season of 4 minutes. That from next 3 seconds it will hit the wall, and for that after that 3 seconds it will linger 4 minutes, and after that 4 minutes it will 4 seconds rather, it will linger 4 seconds. After that 4 seconds it will dissipate. This is all that psychics see, the energies. We figure out the season of the year, and we foresee what will happen to the trees in autumn, and that snow will fall in January. A psychic does the exact same thing, but only more depending on his degree of sensitivity. Now, psychics, like they have psychics that they use to solve cases and so on, it is no different from this. So, me saying that all they see is I'm describing it as I describe energies, it's exactly the same thing. If you maybe it will take you a time to understand. I see seasons of eons, of millions of years, where different energies come to bring different dispensations in their seasons. The entire universe is right here. Put your put your thumb to your index finger and look behind between that loop. The universe is right there. And I see that universe, and in that universe I see seasons of eons, of millions of years, where different energies come to bring different dispensations in their seasons. We can all do this. If you can do this, you can do what I do. But what it will take for some of us to get our faculties back will challenge individuals. Will you manage to eat better? Will you manage to think better? Will you manage to vibrate better? It is not easy, and most people will resign to stay where they are, seeing impossibility in the simplest and the most natural things. Sometimes you might have a certain worry, and by the time you go to YouTube, there is someone speaking a message to you that sounds exactly like your life. These are the energy patterns you are in, and others go through the same thing. But it is no coincidence why you clicked on that message. It is the way the energies work. The boat follows the channel. The boat. You put it in the channel. You put 5 boats in the channel, and all 5 will land at the same place. So the energy pattern, like the wind that drives the smoke, will take it where it goes according to the wind. So there is such a thing as the wind of time and the wind of change. Remember those 2 words, and you will already begin to find something wonderful. Wind of time and wind of change. We all live and subject to these wind. I have been saying the following for 2 years now. I say that we are on the threshold of paradise, which might be a little bit bloated, but it felt good to say. I want to give you an example of cosmic energies following in the same patterns as they were channeled by the psychic, who could also be you. It has started already for over 6 months, but this is the best I can do, for it will continue and probably intensify over the coming years. The smoke has hit the wall, and I'm describing being that smoke for you now. I don't want to get back into the talk about the very adverse church concept of sacrifice and the things that they close their eyes on, even when they happen exactly as it will. Here is an example of what I see in the universal energies at this moment: the wind, the smoke hitting the wall. Evil energies are destroyed in the heavens. Do you hear me? Evil energies were destroyed in the heavens again, but this time it comes at a higher degree. I will introduce you to some of the things that come to my being daily, channeled from the cosmic. It is an introduction to who I am and the out of worldly things that comes to my mind every day, which you can also be aware of. This downloaded info came to be last week, but for the gravity of it, it seemed surreal, almost like that too good to be true kind of feeling. We in the cosmic all expected it to come. After daytime, night always follows, and so it is with the cosmic. Like we know that Aquarius energies are impending, still within every season are seasons and phases. One wonderful respite phase is already here, and it came faster than I personally thought it would. Over the past year or two, people that heard me speak anywhere, although I doubt ever posting a video detailing this, but anyone that spoke or listened to me, or it could be a Facebook post or just a post and a comment on YouTube, but they will remember me telling of the coming respite phase where the energies will change. I did a lot of these posting in 2020, 2021. I remember. Even in 2022, but mostly in 2021. Well, I celebrated a jubilee last week, but quietly, as it was too much to say. An evil energy pattern is receding in the cosmic. You must understand about yin and yang, night and day, darkness and light, positive and negative, male and female, masculine and feminine. We go through all these sames as paradoxes in life, which we call the opposite. They create existing realities and bring the events, or nothing would be. We desire this thing, but that is not what we want. We say this good, we say this is good, and that is evil. We do good or we do evil. The God or the devil. The God or the devil. Over the past thousands of years, that devil energy was most pronounced. We had a period for the past over 5,000 years for some earth dwellers where the devil energies were so compelling that the name for anyone who went with the empathic God force was a pussy. This is the force that sparked many cults and religion that believed in that good energy, saying words as like you must do to others what they will have done to you, or that the universe you must do to others what you will have done to you. That's the way. Or that the universe will do you justice, but you need not raise a hand to do evil. Some took this meaning to the degree that they would not even raise a hand for self-defense. Let me enlighten you to why you believe this thing. You believe this thing because of the patterns of cosmic energies eons ago. Justice came fast. As you say, karma was once almost instantaneous. We are coming closer to the period of speedy justice. This will give the living souls the opportunity to see the value of goodness as they had seen the perspective from the dark side for so long that many believed in the devil force to the degree that they polarized and transitioned to the degree of being satanic. People have come to believe that Satan is better than God. God Almighty has successfully separated the wheat from the tares. Now, with the new energies, they will be stuck with what they are energetically. They will remain what they are. Let him that is evil be evil still. They will remain that way, and you, the empath, will remain who you are as well. When you reach to that low vibration, you will not change. For the for the period that is coming, you will remain that way during the period where the jubilee is for the people that aspire to goodness. Something is happening, which I kept talking about with changing energies. Mighty ones that built empires and satanic forces are falling. Untouchable ones are being touched, but you have not noticed. In the meantime, because of the satanic or demonic momentum that was already built, the evil masses perpetuate their evil more than at any other time. Crime and bloodshed is rife, but they do not see the shadows move above them. They go farther to the dark way of the energies, and it will not allow them to change. They go farther to the dark way of the energies, and it will not allow them to change. They do dark magic and it returns to sender. Dark magic will soon be returned to sender almost instantaneously because this is the way the energies move. Energies are like channels and the boat floats into the energies of the channels. In the present are coming energies, everything come back to self. Be very careful in this time what you put out to the ethers. These conditions will become more magnified as we go forward. For the wicked man, this is a bad omen. For those that choose goodness, especially you, the empath, It is your wonderful day of Jubilee. A new universal paradigm is coming, but it will only last for about 2,000 years, for it is only a respite phase. However, the next dark period will not be half as long or intense, and after it, a great golden age spanning for an eternity, hundreds of thousands, and even over 1 million years. Welcome to the circle of life. Believe if you want to, it will not change a thing. I am showing you an example of the things that we channel daily that comes to our being. And what you can do is take this as a template to see if it really works. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.